What's good? What's good? Blessing. Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. Grateful for the support. I hope y'all having an amazing morning so far. Once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in, hanging out with the guy. Wow. We up early with it, dog. 10 a.m. with it. 10 a.m. with it, dog. We here. How y'all feeling so far, man? I'm over here eating breakfast, doing a podcast. Man. Yesterday for MLK Day, we had sweet cornbread, barbecue pork chop, cabbage green, and yellow rice with corn. Man. Yeah, that was my MLK meal, man. What y'all have yesterday, man? Did y'all do any barbecue? I know a lot of people do barbecues where I'm from, back in Mississippi, man, for MLK Day. I don't know. I think most of us resonate MLK Day with a hood day. Yeah. MLK Day is really like, that's the hood day. I understand. MLK Day is a special day, man. Once again, hope everyone had an amazing yesterday. All right. With that being said, man, let's go ahead and get started. Well, look who we have here. If it isn't another rapper doing the unthinkable on social media. I think somebody have pushed a button and told these rappers, these entertainers, to go out here and do what they're doing. I think somebody pushed a button. We seeing too many rappers. We seeing too many entertainers from different sides of the world, sport, boxing, movie stars, athletes just in general, rappers, entertainers just in general. We seeing too many people do the unthinkable. We seeing Little TJ, who just got hit up multiple times, was able to make it back to his career, We see him go to jail on his way to a video shoot. He get caught up by the undercover feds. We see Lil Summer, who beat a gun case where he left a machine gun with a switch on it in an Uber. We see him beat that case, come back 3 months later, and tell the people on Clubhouse. Funny we say Clubhouse because we have another Clubhouse incident. But he tell the people on Clubhouse he have more guns than anyone, and also talks about the bodies and stuff like that. Then 2 hours later, he's in a high-speed chase with the police. And when they pulled him over, they found the guns that apparently he was telling people that he had. Now, of course, it was other people in the car, but I'm asking a question. I'm saying all that to say this, or to ask this. Could it be that these people's out here get paid to go to jail? Do they actually go to jail? Could it be that they go to jail as a 60-day end program, a 5-day end program? Could it be that they come out here and they say and do what they do because they know the massive will follow? They know the locals will watch what they do and repeat it. Could it be that they promote this game life? They get paid for promoting this game life. You go actually do it. You are the people that gonna get charged and get hit up. It's very strange that we seeing celebrity after celebrity talk about all the things, the crimes that they have done to strangers. It's very strange to me. Why would people talk about the crimes that they have been a part of to strangers? Don't make any sense to me. I think somebody pushed the button. He said, what is that saying? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Wow. Cause it don't make sense to me. Why would we see person after person tell on themselves? Then moments later, we see them in a high-speed chase and we supposed to feel, most of us gonna be like, yo, you gotta be stupid, right? You tell the peoples what you doing, then you get caught up. I'm thinking somebody getting paid. I'm thinking entertainers are getting paid to commit crimes. And I think they going and sit down for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. We can't say people are not willing to go to jail because we do know, okay, let me speak for myself. I do know people that have volunteered to go to jail for some of the homies if it came with a profit. So let's not act like men and women don't go to jail for a profit. Something is strange about this. Let's go ahead and run this right quick. Y'all check this out. Check out this right here. First off, as you see, 21 Savage tell goons on Clubhouse, everybody we beef with, 30 of they niggas get smoked and nothing happened to us. That's what he said. Well, let's hear it for ourselves.
Whole life, so you can argue with a nigga on Clubhouse. You keep letting all these Chicago niggas boost your head up like y'all niggas ain't dying in real life, man. Stop playing.
Then that sounds like a few niggas I know from the rag. All right, bro. So you saying y'all undefeated on this side? Y'all ain't took no loss.
Man, every nigga that we beef with, nigga, 30 of they niggas get smoked, nigga, and don't nothing happen to us, nigga. In real life, nigga. It's real life, nigga. Man, hey, look, Cap, you from Chicago. I advise you.
Don't make sense to me. Young Thug is in jail right now, dealing with the same things that 21 Savage is talking about. Yet he would get on an app called Clubhouse where it's avatars. Right now, I just hit my camera. You can't see me. You don't know who I am behind this camera. You don't see me. You don't know. I could be having all kind of wires. I could be having a whole federal investigation going on right now. Sitting on an app. And I'm not saying just because you can see me, it will make a difference. But what I am definitely saying, there's no way you should be talking to me about what you have done and what you have gotten away with to a bunch of avatars. Well, they can just sit in the room like this and listen. Watch this. You don't see me. This is how Clubhouse works. For y'all that don't know, I'm sure most of everybody know how Clubhouse works. You can't see nobody. It's just a picture. And then guess what? People just talking.
30 of they niggas get smoked, nigga, and don't nothing happen to us, nigga. In real life, nigga. It's real life, nigga.
That's strange to me. Once again, that's strange to me. What's good, my G? That's strange to me, dog. Because I'm thinking, and I'm using my head, and I'm saying, criminals like to beat criminal charges. We just seen little Zay Osama get caught up due to Clubhouse. How many other people then got caught up due to Clubhouse? And you go on Clubhouse and say stuff like this? Strange to me. Very strange. Very strange, dog.
Man, hey, look, Cap, you from Chicago. I advise you to shut the fuck up. I advise you to shut the fuck up, because the niggas that I fuck with out there spanking shit. So stop playing.
All that shit sounds good.
Y'all ain't spanking nothing, nigga.
Man, that's the more I listen, the more I know I see it every day, but I'm still in shock. We see it every day, how these guys tell on themselves. How they self-snitch on themselves. We see it every day, but I'm still shocked. Exactly, Brody. I'm still shocked, though, man. I'm seeing her like, is he really saying all this? On an app where you can't see nobody? He's saying all this? Sounds strange to me, though.
That's the only thing y'all ever did. That's one nigga. All right, how many? Hey, look. All right, look. You would die. You would die, nigga. You would die. You would fight.
Yo, this nigga 20.
Yo, I really believe they get a pass to do what they doing. I believe they are protected by the system. They go out here and portray a lifestyle. And people can die around them. But 9 times out of 10, the main star will be protected. And I think this is the agreement that they have with helping getting the youth eliminated. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Let's listen to this brother right here speak on this situation. Let's see what he got to say.
21 Savage is a fool. Somebody said, hey, I think that clip of 21 Savage did it for me. The new girls are different. Clubhouse stopped letting hot niggas sing like canaries, I see. Why is 21 Savage, a multi-millionaire on Clubhouse, arguing with a gang member?
Wow. Wow. Why is 21 Savage, a multi-millionaire on Clubhouse, arguing with gang members and admitting to crimes? Don't make sense, right? When we logically think about this, it doesn't make any sense, right? You have to go on the internet and claim your dominance by letting other people that don't know you and you don't know them, you have to let them know about the work you done put in. It's strange to me. That's all I'm saying. It's strange to me. It don't make sense. Somebody pushed the button. I really believe it.
And admitting the crimes. 21 Savage are goofy. But they all goofy for talking street shit on Clubhouse. Hell yeah, bro. What happened to real G's moving silent?
That's over with. Y'all notice that? It's over with. That men and women commit crimes and don't talk about it. And once again, I'm not advocating for none of y'all that support me to commit crimes. I'm just so shocked that I see highly successful people. We're not talking about men and women that work average jobs like us. They have to go put in hard labor to earn their money and take care of their families. These are guys that sit and make songs. Yes, I know it's not easy to make songs. I know they have to put in work as well, but these guys are able to make one track, man. And look at the Ice Spice Girl. Look at all the people that make one song and blow up to the top. And they able to go live a life that many of us dream. But they get on here and snitch on themselves. It don't make any sense to me. Don't make any sense.
About Gunna snitching, Gunna this and that. This nigga 21 snitching all over Clubhouse talking about my niggas do this, we undefeated, we shooting shit. You gonna die. Like, bro, what is wrong with this nigga, bro? This nigga is 30 years old. 21 Savage is 30 years old.
Wow, my age.
I would give him an excuse if he was like a young nigga. This nigga is like a father to 4 or 5 kids. Talking like this.
Wow.
He about to catch a Rico for real. Like all these bodies.
It don't make sense, right? We got cases going on right now who 21 Savage's friends of others that are in jail are going through some cases right now. And you would make this mistake? It's not a mistake to me. This is an attempt to get many other people caught up in the process of the system or dead. When we think about depopulation, we have to stop thinking that it's just through our food, through our water, through our air, natural disasters and stuff like that, weather modification, manipulation. We have to start looking at the people that are leading the youth as well. If you have an industry that promotes nothing but violence, death, sex, drug, could that be a part of the depopulation program? Could it? I asked my lady this the other day. He said, I was just talking to an older guy in the gym about depopulation. Depopulation is real. But we don't look at it when it comes to gang activity. Gang activity is a form of depopulation. I asked my girl this the other day. And y'all answer this for me. Why is it bad to showcase giving back? Why do we consider that to be boasting and bragging about helping people? Have y'all thought about that? It's bad to showcase helping people, but it's good to showcase violence, gang activity, murder, sex, drugs. But if I feel myself giving back to the community, I'm doing it for the wrong reason. Have y'all noticed that? The common answer I'm going to get when I ask that is what my lady gave me. Because, no disrespect, she caught up in the system just like most of us are. Exactly, it is. But think about it though. Think about on a worldly stage. The world view us as, man, look at it. I'm giving back to the kids, man. I'm giving back to the kids. If we know visuals and words program people, then why don't we have the visuals of helping? Why do we feel like a person that is filming helping is doing it for a malicious reason? Whether he doing it for malicious intent or not, is it positive to showcase it? Why is it positive to showcase violence, drugs, sex? Why don't we look at that as, man, that's messed up. We shouldn't be watching that. But if I go showcase a school drive, the world gonna look at me as if, oh man, look at him trying to get some attention. Y'all notice that? Something is strange about that. Dude, somebody have convinced us that it's okay to show violence, drugs, sex, and the material lifestyle that most of us chase. But it ain't good to showcase giving back. It ain't good to showcase this. I'm looking like a clown, man. You trying to show everybody you helping people, just do it. You don't got to show nobody. Well, I show people I'm a gangster. So if you showing people you a gangster, what is going to create? What you see is what you reproduce. What you see and hear is what you reproduce. So if we can showcase violence and danger all day, then why you think we reproduce kids that watch what they see and hear? So who gonna make the trend? Exactly. You see how that works? But that's wrong though. Me giving back, no matter why I'm doing it, does it work? When you see someone giving back, does it make you not want to do it a little bit? When you see gang violence, does it make you not want to do it a little bit? You see what I'm saying? Somebody have tricked us to say that showing helping is for clout and attention while we show gang activity all day. Nah, we have to get out of that mindset. We have to showcase. I'm asking you, I'm asking y'all a question for the ones that not understanding what I'm saying. Is there power in, when you read books, they said some people had to have artwork for them to better comprehend the book. Have y'all heard of that? I was one of those kids. I can read it, but if you put some pictures in there, I sure enough can read it now. You understand that? There is power in the visuals. There is power in the voice. If you show me something that we consider good, you will make me want to reproduce that. Understand what I'm saying? So we should not move in silence when it comes to helping. We should get on our phones and showcase us helping. It'll bring in more people that want to help. Some people don't know they are good people. They have to be shown that they're good people. Some people that don't know that they have a good heart until they see somebody else doing something and then they find a new love. Wow, look at the smile he put on that person's face or she put on that person's face. Wow, that's amazing. Some people become nurses' aid because they see somebody else do it. Some people become gang members because they see somebody else doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we constantly showcasing the bad, then let's start showcasing the good. Y'all look at me giving back to my city. Yes, sir. Why we don't do that? Somebody have tricked us. Please listen to what I'm saying and play it back if you got to a couple times. Somebody done tricked us to showcase the bad all day, every day. So therefore, that's all going to be reproduced. But if we can start showcasing the good, I guarantee you, we'll see some difference. I guarantee you.
He talking about we shooting shit, we undefeated. Niggas in Chicago dying in real life. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like,
A
what the hell is
multi-millionaire
going
talking
on?
like that.
Why these rappers got to get on these cameras and all these platforms and try to prove how gangster they is, bro? If you so gangster, you don't speak about it. Let your...
Have y'all never heard? It doesn't matter. I keep saying that. So y'all can't see the comments. I turn the comments off because when I be doing the playback, I don't be want to have it interrupted. My G just said again, because majority of people who showcase the good have ulterior motives. Y'all still not understanding. This is what you do, so you got to break it down. Why does it matter if I'm doing this just so you will like me? If gangsters are showing what they showing just so you'll like them, they reproducing new gangsters. Are you not understanding? It doesn't matter if people are showcasing what they're doing for ulterior motives, because they're going to reproduce people that do good things in the world. If you see somebody helping strangers, people tell us not to help strangers. But if you see somebody helping strangers, let me make sure I say this. Sometimes helping strangers costs you your life. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the reproducing of what we see. Why do our kids not want to help and spread love? Is that what's shown to them? Please understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that people don't have negative reason why they giving back. I'm not saying that. What I'm simply stating once again is, sometimes people don't know that they have a good heart. They have to see it. So if all we showing is the bad, what motives do they have? We ain't stopping them from showing the bad. So why does it make a difference if a person have an ulterior motive by showing the good? Well, we ain't stopped the bad from being shown. We got a multi-millionaire who knows to move in silence. See, some of y'all are not going to understand, so I'm going to move on. It's amazing how you keep going away from what I'm saying when I'm breaking it down so simple, yet we ain't trying to stop the power of negative to be shown to our kids and loved ones. But when I say, why don't we show the love, everybody, oh, it's an ulterior motive. Why does it matter? They showing death every day. But let me move forward.
Past just show what you done. You don't gotta remind
That's just show you how powerful the program is. For those that understand, and I mean no disrespect to the ones that didn't understand, but for those that do understand, that just show you how powerful this shit is, dog.
That shit is lame. Multi-millionaire rappers. This nigga did one of the hottest albums last year with Drake, making all this money. Probably got a big ass house, all the jewelry, but still want to talk about street shit. You get no points talking about how gangster you was, how gangster you used to be, what you do. You get no points for that. All you doing is destroying your own community. Destroying...
Bingo. Bingo. As a person, we give you no points. But guess what? How many people are following to 21 Savage footsteps? How many people are following? See, this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. As a person, you can say, we ain't gonna give him no points for talking like that. But how many young boys, how many young girls gonna reproduce what they see their favorite celebrity doing? Thank you. They destroying the community. That's what I'm trying to explain. If you can show the negative all day, every day, then we need to start showing the good. Y'all, look at me giving back to the school. Look at me helping this old lady across the street. Y'all not understanding it? I see some of y'all not getting it. You don't stop the power that be from showing the negative, but if we can somehow get more people to start showcasing when they doing good deeds, we'll have more people to commit good deeds. Some of y'all ain't getting it, man. Come on now, pay attention, baby.
Your own people. Kids growing up without a dad. Baby mama crying, heartbroken, because their baby daddy lost their life to the streets. All that shit, you don't get no points for that. You coming around somebody talking, oh, I did this, we did that, we did that. Okay, you want a cookie? Because it's the real world. Go to a police and say that. Because that's what you're doing. When you say shit on the internet, you might as well call the police and say, hey, me and my gang was so hard, me and my gang did this. That's all you doing, bro. Nobody cares.
That's facts. I agree. I 1000% agree. I 1000% agree. 21 Savage knows. Have y'all not watched any of 21 Savage interviews? He knows not to talk like this, but he did it. I once again believe that these people are part of the agenda called depopulation. I believe they work in this system because they know they have that influence. 21 Savage know not to talk like this, but he still does it on a app called Clubhouse, where he many times have said, man, come on, I already know about this Clubhouse. When he was getting into it with Wack, I ain't gonna go back and forth with you, Wack. I already know what you're trying to do. Yo, I appreciate that love, big dog. Look at that. And see, that's what I'm saying. Dexter just gifted you a sub. Do you understand what that do to somebody else that see that? I explained it 1,000 times. I ain't gonna. He said, you can't wait on someone to tell you what to do. You either gonna do it or not. Wow, man. Come on, y'all. Let's be smarter than that. We're talking about kids. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Let's not go through that today. Let's not go through that. Let's think. Let's think. Let's actually think. What you talking about? Wasn't you a kid at one point? Wasn't you a follower? You wasn't a leader. So you saying all of y'all was leaders oh, come on, man. Let's not go through that today. Kids are followers. 99%. See, we not talking about grown people. Man, see, I got to move on. Come on, bro. When am I in here talking for grown people? I'm no disrespect. Grown people's going to do what they do, but we're talking about how do we save our future? How do you save your nephew, your nieces, your daughter, your son? We not talking about grown people. We talking about the kids. We talking about my 4 daughters. We talking about your son, your 2 or 3 sons, a daughter, nieces and nephews. Come on, G. Kids are followers. So when they see this type of stuff, this is what they're going to produce. That's why I'm trying to explain to you positive influence. Wow, man. Exactly. How many of us joined gangs because we was followers? I raised my hand. I ain't afraid to raise my hand. I joined the gang and I did crimes because I was a follower. Hello, I'm not the only one. So what I'm saying is, if we have everybody pushing the agenda of negativity, he said, I have never, and I'm 30. Man, shout out to you. But 90% of us was followers. Come on, dog. You was 99% of us as kids was followers. You had the 1% that came out the womb being a leader. Some of us had to learn how to be a leader. I was a follower, and then I learned to be a man of myself. So, man, come on, dog. Like, let's not play these games, man. I see it. Come on, man. But that's my take on the 21 Savage situation. Once again, I'll play it back what he said. Y'all listen to this.
You from Chicago. I advise you to shut the fuck up. I advise you to shut the fuck up, because the niggas that I fuck with out there spanking shit. So stop playing.
All that shit sounds good.
Y'all ain't spanking nothing, nigga.
Man, that's the only thing y'all ever did.
This moment your whole life, so you can argue with a nigga on Clubhouse. You keep letting all these Chicago niggas boost your head up like y'all niggas ain't dying in real life, man. Stop playing.
Then that sounds like a few niggas I know from the rag. All right, bro. So you saying y'all undefeated on that side? Y'all ain't took no loss.
Man, every nigga that we beef with, nigga, 30 of they niggas get smoked, nigga, and don't nothing happen to us, nigga. In real life, nigga. It's real life, nigga. Man, hey, look, Cap, you from Chicago. I advise you to shut the fuck up. I advise you to shut the fuck up, cause the niggas that I fuck with out there spanking shit. So stop playing.
All that shit sounds good.
Y'all ain't spanking nothing, nigga.
That's the only thing y'all ever did.
So that's what's 21 Savage, and that's what we were speaking on. I think it's crazy that a multi-millionaire talking like that on a fucking app. I think it's crazy, and I think he's a part of the agenda that pays him to make sure we stay into beef, to make sure we stay shooting, riding, and sliding. I think that's what's going on. I think many of these rappers get paid to go to jail. You might think I'm crazy for that, but they do have TV shows called 60 Days In. I do know people that was willing to take the charge for the big homie because the big homie was going to put some money on his book and also bless him when he got out. So what I'm saying is, I think that these influencers, people like him, say things that they know they shouldn't say so they can rile up the community and have people to go out and commit crimes in their name, in their idol name. Believe it or not, that's my opinion on it. But we're going to move away from the Young Thug situation. 21 Savage. And it's, speaking of Young Thug, you know, he's friends with Young Thug. He should know about this stuff. He just seen another guy get caught up on Clubhouse. Why would another multimillionaire come back on Clubhouse and say some of the reckless things he just said? All right, let's move on. Our next story, here's what I mean by the influence of the world. In case y'all didn't understand when I was speaking on the 21 Savage, I keep telling y'all about the influence of the world. Now, who is this young lady right here? Queen Naija regrets adding fat to her butt. Say she's scared of a reduction. This is a young lady, right? She's not a celebrity. I'm trying to help you understand. When we see these celebrities, this is what influence is. And this is what I mean by if we get more people to showcase the positive, which we can't get it from the influencers, so we got to get it from the civilians. When y'all doing good deeds, I say you should film it. Don't worry about the people saying you're doing it for ulterior motives. Film your good deeds. Film your good deeds. Because look at what these people are promoting. These celebrities are promoting body changes. And when you have regular civilians who don't love the way that they look because all they hear about is, man, the people that are high status, they able to go change their body, they able to go get a new makeover. Oh, they look so good now. They don't love the way that they was looking. They not excited or happy about what they see in the mirror. So you have regular civilians who try to take shortcuts and they end up going to what they can afford for a makeover and they don't make it out alive. And we also know some of these high status people, sometimes they don't make it out alive. This is a mother of 3 right here. Lost her life for trying to go through the procedure of the BBL. Now, I can go get many more that have fatally passed from going through these procedures. But this is one right here we're going to get into. I want y'all to check this out, man. It's crazy. She traveled all the way to the DR, leaving her 3 kids behind to go for a makeover because that's what's hot. That's what I mean about influence. That's what I mean by some of y'all act like you try to ignore who have the influence. Would this woman and many of us normally go get a body change? How many of y'all grew up and thought about getting your body done? You ain't never thought about that. But once you started to get familiar with the social media lifestyle, you start thinking about, For my guys, have you never thought about, for my guys, now, no homo, what's good, G? I got a nice size package, but you ain't never thought about, man, these niggas getting their shit done? I mean, I can't get mine done no more, but shit, that crazy. You feel me? Now imagine what guys would be thinking like that if he wasn't so caught up in the social media. What woman would be thinking about, man, I ain't got enough back there. That's the power of social media. That's the power of influence that these people have on us. We don't like what we have, so we want to get it upgraded. And when you get some things upgraded because you're not happy with what you have, because this influence that social media has made us think that we are less than. And it have changed and altered the way that we date one another. For most of us guys, we looking for some nice round curves. You know, for most of the ladies, they say they looking for some built stuff. So you see a dude named Bandman Kelpo, who is a multi-millionaire, should be happy and successful where he at, or go to the gym. He chose to go get his body done. You hear the men's like Trey Songz, they go get their penis done. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And so, in this situation right here, this young lady who was living a nice life went to the DR and she didn't return. Or she did return, but it wasn't how she went. Let's get into it.
It's JAlLED. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Once again, we're talking about American women traveling overseas to the Dominican Republic to get a BBL.
Wow. Wow. Y'all can't see the comment once again because I have it off for when we do the YouTube videos, it don't interfere. A young lady on my Twitch just said, women have the physical influence and men have the influence of being hard. That's so true. Women get caught up in how they looking, and guys get caught up in, am I hard enough? Wow, that's so true. That's so true, Queen. That's so fucking true.
Them to never come back because they're losing their life. I've done videos, I've done a live stream about, the BBLs. I'm going to continue this conversation because this conversation needs to be had. Here you have a single mother of three.
Nobody want to put in the work.
I believe you pronounce her name Sucreta Tolliver. And she went to the Dominican Republic to get a BBL. And she had complications while she was there. And she passed away 2 days after getting the work done.
Wow.
I believe by doctors who should not be giving surgeries. But see, the thing is, when you go to these foreign countries and you go to get these type of procedures, it's a lot of shadiness. It's going to be a lot of people who should not be operating who are operating. Right? There's one doctor in particular whose name has come up a few times in these situations.
Wow. 2 days
all because
after?
Women want to have bigger butts. That's literally what this is about. Okay.
Yo, ladies. If the man that is pursuing you not interested in you the way that you was born, then he not worthy of you. It goes the same for fellas. If you feel like you got to give all your money, all your resources to a woman to please her, then they not worthy. But ladies, if you feel like the man not liking you the way that your shapes and curves, then go let the next man pursue you. Don't risk your life by going to get a procedure where you leaving your kids behind, and that man, he gonna go on and find another woman. Come on, man.
And the worst thing about this is that, she's leaving behind children. She's leaving behind children who will never see her again, and it's sad. I believe that she thought that she was going to be with a doctor that had her best interest at heart, but that doctor didn't have her best interest at heart. That doctor wanted to get paid.
Exactly.
And did very sloppy work.
These people are out here to get paid. They know. They know you coming from America. They saying, oh, we got another one coming in. Just go ahead and run her through the week process because she ain't a person of fame. What can she do? Just go tell that I did bad work? Think about that. Now, if it was a high influence person, oh, they're gonna make sure that they do that person right. They're gonna make sure that they keep that person alive because that person can bring them more money. But if it's just one of you regular women and you done saved up enough money, you've been saving money up 4 years to get your body done, well, it ain't really no importance to get her and make sure that she make it out and do her and give her the platinum procedure. She's just a regular person. So your life might not mean that much. You can't hurt their business. Especially when they getting the influencers that they getting them their body right. They making sure that they go out and look good. You feel me? They gonna make the money off the influencers. And for y'all that just come in there, they gonna just get your money and send you on out your way.
Because when a person has complications right after surgery to the point where they lose their life, you're an incompetent person who should not be doing surgeries. And I will also say this, you see a lot of stories like this. There were stories like this months ago. Even a couple of years ago, women losing their life over, getting those injections, getting surgeries, but you still have women who still go to these countries and get this work done. They don't even seek to get the work done here. And they'll say, well, it's too expensive here. Well, you're getting the best care here in the States,
Facts.
even though it too is dangerous and it's a dangerous surgery. But you're going to get better care here than you do by going to these other countries. But see, these women get bad advice because they probably listen to other women who've gotten work done and they tell these women that, everything is fine. That everything is fine. No, everything is not fine. This woman lost her life getting a procedure done in a foreign country. That's not how it should go.
That's bad.
At all.
Brother said that's the reason that industry business, the number one business in the world, and how been and will forever continue to be. Because the influence is still a dream that you can alter your life. But when you alter your life, sometimes there come with consequences.
That should have never happened. So let's get into this article here. It says a black woman is the latest to die after cosmetic surgery amid troubling trend of BBL deaths. Shakreta Tolliver underwent unspecified cosmetic surgery earlier this month. Let's see. Shakreta Tolliver of Chicago traveled to the Caribbean nation for an unspecified surgical procedure earlier this month and died while recovering 2 days later, according to NBC5. While it was not immediately clear what cosmetic surgery procedure Tolliver underwent, her death comes as women have been dying following the so-called Brazilian butt lift surgeries. Tolliver's Dominican administered death certificate lists the cause of death as internal bleeding, but the family wants to know more. Tolliver's daughter, Mariah Price, described the family's ordeal to NBC5. Price says her mom had traveled to Dominican Republic for a cosmetic procedure that was performed on December 12th. She died 2 days later at a recovery home. I got on the phone with her that night, the night before she passed, and she sounded like she was in so much pain. Price said she was like, I wouldn't wish this on nobody. It hurts so bad. Wow. That's how you know it was definitely a complication, because these guys don't care. They can't even speak English, hardly. They don't care as long as they're getting paid and they think they've done their job. They don't care how these women feel, and they don't really like these women. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think that these people who do these surgeries in Dominican Republic really like the fact that all these American women are coming there to get surgeries. So they don't care if they do a good job or not. Toliver's daughter says she felt completely helpless, thousands of miles from her mom, and unable to care for her. Now the family includes Price's uncle, William Toliver, is fighting to get more answers.
Then let's think about that, y'all. You in a place where nobody know you, and you getting procedures done, and when you going through pain, you got to depend on people that don't know you to assist you. Where do you go from there? That got to be a horrible way to pass, man. For real, for real.
On what went wrong. They are seeking to have the FBI and other U.S. agencies investigate Toliver's death. Well, good luck with that. We're still waiting for the FBI to investigate the Shanquella Robinson death, and they have refused to do anything. They're more concerned with content creators on social media who are making content they don't like more so than anything else. They don't care about the lives of Americans. I'm sorry to tell y'all that. It don't matter if it's a black woman too. They only care about, pushing their propaganda. They really don't care about Americans.
Now look at
they
this,
just care about.
Look at this one. No disrespect. What work she need? What? Okay, for some of y'all that's so caught up in the magazines, she ain't no curvy, Beyonce body. But what work do she need? What work do she need? Nothing. That's what drives me more than anything. We have women that are beautiful, feel like they need to do something. Why the women that are monsters out here ain't doing nothing to hide that shit? And they have you pretty women need to steal some confidence from these ugly girls. Cause these ugly girls out here looking like roaches and ain't worried about what you got to say. But these women that actually look decent feel like they need something. What you need? You don't need nothing. Man, what you need, ass? You don't need, man, come on, go on, man. You ain't got the fat, but don't. But shit, man, you don't need nothing. Come on, man. Don't need nothing.
So
ain't nothing she need.
Those agencies are really not going to do anything because there have been other women who've lost their lives overseas, and these agencies haven't done anything because they don't care about Americans. They just care about pushing propaganda and sending more money and weapons to Ukraine. That's all they care about.
By the way, they just sent $3 billion to Ukraine.
Toliver's death came about a week before it was reported that another black American woman died last year following cosmetic surgery in Florida. Janisha JAlLED Williams died October 21st. Her death was only reported last week. Now, again, I'm not saying that these women only lose their lives when they go overseas. It can happen in...
What the fuck? So this woman died October 2021. And her death just got reported. What?
The States as well. But Janisha, and I did a video on Janisha. Wow. I'll link Janisha's video in the description box.
Wow.
Janisha lost her life because the person administering the anesthesia,
that's facts,
was not supposed to be doing that. They were already flagged. And somehow that particular facility allowed her to do it. And that's how Janisha lost her life. It wasn't even the surgery that lost her life. It was the fact that a person that should have never had administered the anesthesia administer it And that's how Janisha lost her.
And man, you know something, that anesthesia is dangerous. I know a lot of women fear that, because especially when they got to be put to sleep, when they having kids, that's a dangerous process, and a lot of women be real nervous when they have to go through that. You know, when they got to be put to sleep, you know, for the C-section and stuff like that, man. You know, that's a very frightening situation.
Life. In Williams' case, NBC Miami reported that an OB/GYN who is restricted practicing that specialty for an unrelated complaint was involved in the procedure. The BBL procedure has proven to be especially lethal, but death isn't always the end result following the cosmetic surgery. Back in October, a woman who traveled to the Dominican Republic for a BBL ended up losing her kidney after the procedure was botched. According to a July 2017 report by the Aesthetic Surgery Education and Research Foundation, the Aesthetic Surgery Journal, 2 out of every 6,000 BBLs result in death. Even more shocking, 3% of the 692 surgeons surveyed in a report admit that they had experienced a patient's death following a BBL. It's not good. Researchers have concluded that significantly higher mortality rates seem to be linked with BBLs and similar cosmetic procedures. Some women are paying a lot of money to undergo the risky procedure too. A BBL can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000, all to look like some Instagram model. That's all this is about. It's about trying to look like these women. And again, I'm not saying this particularly about Secreta. I'm talking about the majority of you women that go get the BBLs. You're trying to look like an Instagram model. You're trying to look like a thought. Let's be real. You just want to get on Instagram and show off your big assets, so maybe one day you too can start an OnlyFans. You got all that education, right? You got all that work experience just so you can go and get a BBL, just so you can garner the attention of thirsty men, because that's where it goes. And the thing is that a lot of these women don't understand that that's all you're going to get from a BBL. You're going to get attention from the thirstiest of men that are only going to see you as an object to have relations with. They're not going to see you as a wife. Now, again, a lot of these women are adults. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but understand when you undergo these procedures, you might want to go to the right people who, for the most part, don't have deaths on their hands. There are too many other instances of people dying from not just elective cosmetic surgery, but BBLs in particular. Earlier this month, superstar rapper Cardi B warned against getting Brazilian butt lifts. She admitted to undergoing the procedure in a basement apartment in New York City for $800. She said the person who performed the surgery was not a doctor and ended up going to jail over the death of one of her patients. But, that's the thing. Cardi B should be out here warning women all the time, but she doesn't do it. She'll do it once, right? But she doesn't care, right? Only you should care, because nobody else is going to care. According to the Cleveland Clinic, people who elect to undergo BBL surgery should have realistic expectations, which means you can't try to go and get no gigantic butt. A lot of these chicks go and get these BBLs. They want this huge ass. They want to go from having no assets at all to a very big one. During a BBL, a doctor called a plastic surgeon will remove fat deposits from other parts of the body and insert them in areas around the butt. After you've recovered, your butt will be bigger, stick out more, and have an even shape, symmetrical. Areas of the body that had fat removed will have smoother body contours, shapes. It's all just to look good. Just to look good on social media. That's what it's all about. And unfortunately, Secreta lost her life because of this. They say she was a mother of 3, but I always see her with mother 4, but all I see her is with 3 children. And those 3 children don't have a mother anymore. They really don't. I just wish women would see this and understand there are other ways to build a butt. I mean, you got plenty of women who put up videos all the time showing their workouts of building a bigger butt. I know you feel like it takes longer, but you got to understand the recovery from a BBL takes a while. You don't recover from a BBL overnight. That I didn't hear. I don't know of any BBL recovery that happens quickly. You know, it takes time. It really does. And the time that, you know, you could go and get you, either you can watch the videos and do the exercise yourself, or maybe they have BBL trainers. We need more BBL trainers. We need some more women out here who are BBL trainers who can, you know, help these women out. I think that would be a big industry too. We need more, instead of these fake fitness models, we need more BBL.
My bad.
Fitness trainers. We need more BBL trainers out here for these women. It's sad, but hopefully more women will understand what's going on. But I don't think they really are going to see these things happen and really care, to be honest with you. Sad, though.
And I agree. Because we see it all too often. Women know about this. And they still go over there and get in line. So I agree. Most women are gonna see it and it's not gonna affect them or bother them at all. They're gonna be like, oh, and they're gonna be right there ready to get their procedure done. Ladies, stop letting the 1 or 2 men that you turned down get in and hurt your feelings to where you think you need to go get something done. Or whether it's the other women that are hating on you and you feel like you need to get something done. No disrespect, this lady did not need no work done. Me, just off her looks, I give her a 7, 8. If I was single and and I met her, I would try to get her. You feel me? She not ugly to me. I don't care what she is to the next man. So what I'm saying is, lady, stop letting your homegirls or that guy that won't get with you, stop letting them dudes trick you. Cause I'm just saying though, I ain't seen that she need. I like her style. You feel me? I like that. I like what I see. So it's no way you should be out here messing with yourself like that, man. Come on. But that's just my opinion, man. That's it on that story right there. And just to add to that, here's another young lady who is an influencer. And see, that's what I mean. A lot of these people right here, they go watch these influencers. They watch these influencers. And y'all, if y'all know who she is, what work does she need, y'all? What work does she need? I'm telling you, man, this goddamn celebrity lifestyle is fucking up people. It's fucking people up. What work did she need, y'all? Let's check this out. We're gonna just watch a little bit of this, and then we'll get going to our next story.
What's going on, guys? I'm JAlLED. She is a singer. She was a content creator before then.
Wow,
and she is making some comments that have people talking about how she is feeling regretful about getting the BBL because I guess she didn't expect her body to continue to expand, right? But that's what happens. And I think a lot of women are short-sighted in that regards. They don't really understand that, you know, just because you get a BBL don't mean that your body is not going to, like when you put all that fat into your assets, that doesn't mean that you're going to stop growing. You're going to continue to grow. You know, that's where that weight is going to go. It got to go somewhere, and it's going there. Now, a lot of people don't understand that there are ramifications of getting BBL. There's a lot of women out here.
I ain't gonna play that whole thing because we just talked about it, but I just wanted to show y'all, man. Beautiful lady, bro. Beautiful lady. Yet, that power of the industry, dog, make them feel like they don't have it. Beautiful lady, man. Now she feeling some type of way about her procedure. Now she don't like it. Crazy. I should have went and got that clips, but that's my opinion on that, man. Now I know it's early. And y'all probably weren't ready for this at 11 a.m. But you know, I talked about this before, and I found the video that was speaking on it, and I wanted to share it with y'all. Now, I have heard that there was a passage through the Grand Canyon that could lead to Egypt. If you ever heard of that, let me know. I heard of that. I heard there was a passageway through the Grand Canyon that will lead you to Egypt. That's what I heard before. So I have this video. Okay, so somebody else heard it too. Okay, I'm not the only one that heard that before. All right. So I have a video that's gonna speak on it. And what makes me a little worried and a little weary is, why is the Grand Canyon off limits? Why is parts of the Grand Canyon, why you can't go there and hang out and just wander all over the place? Is it because they're afraid that more people would believe that as well? Okay, let's get started. Let's check this out, y'all. I know it's early. I know we normally do stuff like this at night, but hey, let's check it out and see what he got to say.
In 1908, President Teddy Roosevelt wanted to declare the Grand Canyon off limits to all timber and mining operations. It would take another 11 years for Congress to designate the Grand Canyon a national park. Sensing a final opportunity for adventure, explorer G.E. Kincaid took a boat down the Colorado River and through the Grand Canyon. The canyon was rich in minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and Kincaid wanted to see what he could find before the area was closed off for good. About 40 miles upriver from the El Tovar Crystal Canyon, Kincaid saw stains in the sediment formation about 2,000 feet up. He tied off the boat and got out to investigate. Kincaid couldn't find a trail, but after a short hike, he found something interesting covered in desert brush. Steps, hundreds of them, carved in sandstone, steps that wound their way up to a high shelf on the side of the canyon. He followed the steps until he came across a cavern entrance, an entrance that was clearly man-made. Kincaid entered the cavern and turned on his flashlight. On the walls, he saw writing, but it wasn't English or Native American writing. It was ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Kincaid lifted his flashlight and saw that the tunnel ran far into the distance. He didn't realize it at the time, but this was only the beginning.
Now, why would this be in the Grand Canyon? Come on now. What would Egyptian writing be doing in the Grand Canyon? Why would, like you said, why would there be heavily armed guards protecting the Grand Canyon? What's over there? What's over there? What's over there where you need government agents to protect it?
When G.E. Kincaid tied off his small wooden boat to investigate the strange coloration of the rock wall, he was hoping to find clues that would lead him to a mineral deposit. He wasn't expecting to find hieroglyphics. When Kincaid noticed chisel marks in the walls, he drew his pistol, turned on another light, and slowly walked deeper into the gloom. He kept detailed notes of everything he saw.
The main passageway is about 12 feet wide, narrowing to 9 feet toward the farther end. About 57 feet from the entrance, the first side passages branch off to the right and left, along which on both sides are a number of rooms about the size of ordinary living rooms of today, though some are 30 by 40 feet square. These are entered by oval-shaped doors and are ventilated by round air spaces through the walls into the passages. The walls are about 3 feet 6 inches in thickness. The passages are chiseled or hewn as straight as could be laid out by an engineer. The ceilings of many of the rooms converge to a center. The side passages near the entrance run at a sharp angle from the main hall, but toward the rear they gradually reach a right angle in direction.
G.E. Kincaid now realized he was in a huge complex. He estimated that as many as 50,000 people could have lived here. In some rooms, he found granaries with shelves of glazed pottery, many of which still contain seeds. He found cooking areas and a huge dining hall. The rooms were full of ancient artifacts. Kincaid carefully wrapped a few small metal and ceramic objects for later study. Another large room Kincaid described as an area for metalwork, a technology that should not have existed in this area.
Here are found tools of all descriptions made of copper. These people undoubtedly knew the lost art of hardening this metal, which has been sought by chemicals for centuries without result. On a bench running around the workroom was some charcoal and other material probably used in the process. There's also slag and stuff similar to mat, showing that these ancients smelted ores, but so far no trace of where or how this was done has been discovered, nor the origin of the ore.
G.E. Kincaid explored the underground complex for several hours, still having no idea when this place was used, what it was used for, or who the builders were. Then he came across another large room, a crypt. The crypt had shelf upon shelf and row upon row of mummies, dozens of them. At this point, G.E. Kincaid realized that if he was going to explore this entire underground city, he was going to need help.
Facts, Trey. Believe me, we're going to be going there too.
G.E. Kincaid sent a few artifacts to the Smithsonian along with his notes of what he found. He requested financial and logistical support for what he felt was the most significant archaeological discovery ever made. The Smithsonian agreed. A few weeks later, Professor S.A. Jordan arrived with a team of about 40 scientists, researchers, and laborers to excavate and explore the ancient underground city. Now with more lights and manpower, the scientists realized that the cave system layout wasn't random. It was a symmetrical, deliberate design. The tunnels all led to a central chamber. In the chamber was a large statue of what Kincaid thought looked like Buddha.
Like butter.
Buddha.
What I say.
Over 100 feet from the entrance is the cross hall, several hundred feet long, in which are found the idol or image of the people's god, sitting cross-legged with a lotus flower or lily in each hand. The cast of this face is oriental, and the carving in this cavern. The idol almost resembles Buddha, though the scientists are not certain as to what religious worship it represents. Taking into consideration everything found thus far, it is possible that this worship most resembles the ancient people of Tibet.
So when we find stuff like this, when we hear about discoveries like this, and we hear about the pyramids being in the U.S., does that change things? For a lot of people, they just continue to go on like Egypt is the only place where pyramids are. We have discovered pyramids all over the world. All over the world. So I would agree as well. It should change things. It should change a lot of things about our history. But yet, things don't change. We discover this stuff, yet they still keep telling us what they telling us.
I didn't think we were allowed to say Oriental. Are we bringing that back?
We're not. This was written over 100 years ago. So.
Oh, right, when we had freedom of
That should expose them as liars. It should.
speech.
No, Oriental in this context just means Eastern.
Ah.
Because of this discovery, Kincaid's team started calling the complex the Citadel. The crypt was one of the bigger rooms discovered. Now, with enough light, Kincaid was able to fully describe what he saw.
The walls slant back at an angle of about 35 degrees. On these are tiers of mummies, each one occupying a separate hewn shelf. At the head of each is a small bench, on which is found copper cups and pieces of broken swords. Some of the mummies are covered with clay, and all are wrapped in a bark fabric. The urns or cups on the lower tiers are crude.
Once again, for the people that just tuning in, this is in the Grand Canyon.
While as the higher shelves are reached, the urns are finer in design, showing a later stage of civilization. It is worthy of note that all the mummies examined so far have proved to be male, no children or females being buried here. This leads to the belief that this exterior section was the warriors' barracks.
Kincaid, Jordan, and the Smithsonian team explored the entire cave complex. They were overwhelmed with evidence that this was not some faraway temple occupied by a few priests. This was a huge city lived in by thousands of men, women, and children for hundreds or possibly thousands of years. The question nobody could answer was, who were they? By the end of the expedition, G.E. Kincaid and Professor Jordan's team had discovered hundreds of rooms. barracks, granaries, metalworking shops, temples, and many, many living quarters. Though most of the rooms were empty, thousands of artifacts were found. They found swords and shields made of copper, bronze, and a gray metal that scientists couldn't identify. They thought it looked like platinum. They found pottery, urns, utensils for cooking, small yellow stones called cat's eyes, and large stone tablets, all engraved with hieroglyphics.
On all the urns or walls over doorways and tablets of stone which were found by the image are the mysterious hieroglyphics, the key to which the Smithsonian Institute hopes yet to discover. The engraving on the tablets probably has something to do with the religion of the people. Similar hieroglyphics have been found in southern Arizona. Among the pictorial writings, only 2 animals are found. One is of prehistoric type.
Even with all the relics and all the writing Kincaid and Jordan found, they were still no closer to determining who built the citadel in the Grand Canyon. They thought some of the statues looked Tibetan, but they weren't quite right. They thought the writing looked Egyptian. Again, that wasn't quite right. There were experts on site, none of whom could identify the statues or translate any of the text. But there were 2 things that the researchers could agree on. One, the civilization that built the citadel was very advanced, far more advanced than the native tribes that occupied the area for a few thousand years. This now lost civilization worked bronze many years before the Bronze Age began. They understood division of labor and agriculture when every other society on Earth was presumably still hunting and gathering. These are discoveries that went against everything that was taught in mainstream archaeology and anthropology. A civilization like this shouldn't exist.
Oh, what was the second thing?
What?
Oh, you said the eggheads agreed on 2 things. What was the second thing?
Right.
I haven't seen it yet.
They
big
agreed
dog.
that the
I
civilization
will,
that
though.
built the citadel in the Grand Canyon didn't emerge there locally. This civilization arrived there from the other side of the world. Kincaid and Professor Jordan sent boxes of artifacts and books full of notes and drawings back to the Smithsonian, along with their hypothesis that an ancient civilization existed in the Grand Canyon thousands of years before Native Americans arrived in North America. These people were technologically advanced, educated, skilled, and spiritually complex. And these people originated somehow in Egypt or Asia. Kincaid wanted more resources and a larger team to help them research the citadel and search the Grand Canyon for more evidence of this lost civilization. Their request was denied, and G.E. Kincaid and Professor S.A. Jordan were never heard from again.
Son of a...
That sound about right, don't it?
In northern Arizona is one of the most spectacular
That sound about how it usually go when somebody discovers something.
natural wonders on Earth, the Grand Canyon. Carved over millions of years by the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon is more than just a pretty landscape and a spot for tourists to take selfies. It's a place of deep spiritual significance for the people who've lived in the area. The Hopi, Navajo, Zuni, Apache, and several other tribes have lived around the Grand Canyon for several thousand years. They still do. Hopi mythology says that from the Grand Canyon, the first people of the world entered. The story says that many thousands of years ago, a reptilian race emerged.
Lizard people!
Yep.
Hey, how many times do lizard people have to come up in these stories before you believe in them?
I guess I'm gonna need a few more.
Lizard people are gonna keep popping up. You'll see.
Thousands of years ago, a reptilian race,
Lizard people.
lizard people, emerged from the Grand Canyon and
That fish wild, though, I ain't gonna lie.
changed into humans.
Lizard people are shapeshifters.
That would seem to be true. Other Pueblo cultures like the Zuni and the Acoma have similar legends that there were people there before the tribes.
Lizard people legends?
Well, some legends say reptilians were there. Other legends say a race of giants were there.
Ooh!
And there are rumors that skeletons of giants have been discovered all over the western United States, but the evidence has been suppressed.
They're suppressed by who?
The Smithsonian.
Of course.
Something I've learned from doing the show is that all myths and legends do carry a little bit of truth. We already have evidence that people landed in North America before Columbus. The Vikings famously explored and settled parts of Newfoundland 500 years before the quote-unquote New World was quote-unquote discovered. And there's growing evidence that ancient Chinese explorers landed in North and South America before the Vikings. But landing on the east or west coast of America is one thing. Getting to the Grand Canyon is a whole other thing. How could people get there? And even if they could, how did they have the technology to excavate millions of tons of rock in order to build an entire underground city? Well, we may have known the answer to that question for 1,000 years. Traveling from Europe and Asia to America thousands of years ago was almost impossible. Almost. Many brave people did it. But traveling to the Grand Canyon is a much more difficult task than landing on a California beach. To get to and build in the Grand Canyon requires technology. The Hopi have a very intriguing legend about the ant people. These are humanoid creatures that are smaller than humans with pale skin and large eyes like an insect.
Aliens.
According to legend, a series of cataclysms hit the earth many thousands of years ago.
Young Darius.
The Hopi were on the verge of being destroyed. A sky god emerged from what they called a moving star.
UFO.
The sky god brought the Hopi to the ant people, who escorted them to underground caves for protection. The sky god then got back into his moving star and flew off above the clouds. The Paiute have a legend about the Havmusuvs. They're usually described as being humanoid in shape with golden skin and large eyes.
Aliens.
They lived in a vast underground city and traded with faraway people. They possessed weapons that the Paiute described as silver tubes that shot lightning and can kill a man instantly.
Bases.
And the most interesting part of the Havmusuv legend? They supposedly flew silver canoes in the sky.
UFOs.
These craft made a humming sound and could maneuver like an eagle and move at great speeds. Most ancient cultures have a flood myth. They describe a global disaster that melted the ice caps and caused sea level to rise 400 feet. Entire cities were wiped out, maybe even entire continents.
Atlantis.
Most of these flood myths also talk about how, after the waters receded, a godlike people came down from the sky. These gods gave humans the gift of civilization and taught them things they had forgotten before the Great Flood. Things like writing, astronomy, and agriculture. Could the city in the Grand Canyon be evidence of this time in history? And if it is, why would anyone want to suppress it? All the information in today's episode comes from 2 front-page articles from the Phoenix Gazette published in 1909. In the years since, mainstream researchers have decided that the articles were a hoax, a fantastic story designed to sell newspapers.
19th century clickbait.
Yep.
The media hasn't changed much.
Unfortunately, that's true. But many people believe the story is real, and the Smithsonian is covering it up.
Smithsonian Public Relations, Marion speaking.
Hold on. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? I'm here. Sorry, I was on hold a long time.
How can I help you?
They transferred me to Marion.
Yes, this is Marion.
Okay, great. My name is AJ, and I'm with the Y-Files. We're a YouTube channel that covers mysteries.
Did you say you're from YouTube?
The Y-Files is a channel on YouTube, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to talk to you about an article that was in the Phoenix, Arizona Gazette in 1909, and they sent me to you. I was hoping to ask you a couple of questions about that.
Okay, let me stop you. No Egyptian artifacts of any kind have ever been found in North or South America.
Sounds like you've given that speech before.
Yes, I get this call a couple of times a year. I can tell you that the Smithsonian has never been involved in anything like this in the Grand Canyon or anywhere.
So, G.E. Kincaid?
There's no record of anyone by that name ever working for the Smithsonian. The whole thing is a hoax.
Yeah, that's the prevailing belief, but the Smithsonian has been accused of covering this up.
Do you think he on point with his research, or do you think he have an obligation, just like many other people that tell you truth and lies? He good, but there is something you need to notice that he said. He doesn't believe in it as well. See, he have 1.2 million subscribers. See, some people are gonna give you the truth and the lies. It's all about how you depict what he's saying, and if can you comprehend when he making a lie, when he wants you to go with something for as it's a lie and the truth. So they talk about the truth in plain sight, but try to act like you crazy for believing in the truth. So they make a mockery of it. He on point with the research, but what point is he trying to send? That's what you have to get out of it. He talk about a lot of real shit. But most of it, at the end of the day, you see what he said about the lizard people? See, you got, like I said, and I say this respectfully, a lot of people are very intelligent, but it's like we don't comprehend as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully. Please don't think I'm trying to be disrespectful. Comprehending things is what a lot of us don't have. You know, my lady, she very smart, but she can't comprehend. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I noticed in school, that was my strongest subject. Language, comprehending. So be careful when you watch certain things. Understand, I'm showing you this because he exposed to some stuff, but he gonna make it as if it's a joke and that it's not real. You see this phone call right here? See, all this is a part of the show. Yeah, he doing this phone call, but you think he calling them people and they gonna tell him about some shit that supposedly they done cover it up and they just gonna give him information over the phone. See, pay attention. That's where the comprehend come in at. Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I don't have a response to that.
you probably don't want to talk about giants or giant skeletons, huh?
Goodbye.
That's the official story. Kincaid's cave is a hoax, so no reason to try and find it. Nothing to see here. Even Kincaid himself wanted to keep people out.
First, I would impress that the cavern is nearly inaccessible. The entrance is 1,486 feet down the sheer
100,
canyon
but hey,
wall. It is
facts,
located
Will.
on
It's
government
straight.
land, and no
Facts.
visitor will be allowed there under penalty of trespass. The scientists wish to...
The encounter and the things that are in Wyoming is real. And that's what people like him good at doing. They good at finding real things and make you believe that, you fell for the hoax. You fell for the joke. That's where the truth and lies come into play.
work unmolested, without fear of archaeological discoveries being disturbed by curio or relic hunters. A trip there would be fruitless, and the visitor would be sent on his way.
Whether at the request of the Smithsonian or just to protect his find, it was clear that Kincaid wanted to dissuade people from finding the citadel. But even over 100 years later, that wouldn't stop people from trying. And some of those people, they say they found it. Jerry Wills and his wife Kathy have been studying the Kincaid Cave mystery for years. Their approach was find the original base camp of the explorers, which would lead them to the cave. After years of research and exploring the area where G.E. Kincaid said he found the cave, Jerry and Kathy found a location covered in artifacts from that time. And on the canyon wall just below this area, they believe is the entrance to the underground city. Exploring is difficult though. The entire area where the cave is supposed to be is designated off limits by the federal government.
I saw that coming.
Now see, once again, see how there is real stuff in what he talking about? Where he still makes the jokes and he makes certain things, to where he want to direct you to be like, come on, really? You believe that? But yet, he's still going to mention truth.
About 1,000 caves have been discovered in the Grand Canyon, many of them man-made, but only about 30 have been mapped, and many of those have been sealed.
Oh, I close them off.
Oh, for your safety.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I don't buy the safety excuse either. There are plenty of people who'd be willing to take the risk, and they'd be willing to sign a waiver that says the government isn't responsible if something happens. In fact, people have tried this. The government still says no, it's too dangerous.
How nice of the government to look out for us.
Isn't that nice? Then why is it legal to jump out of a plane or ride a roller coaster or drive a car? Some things in life are dangerous, but they're still worth doing. Some other caves in the Grand Canyon have been blocked by steel gates. They say this is to protect the bat population.
Whoa. Did you say bats? We have to protect the bats?
That's what they say.
Well, haven't bats caused enough problems these last few years? Allegedly.
Still, people are willing to risk a fine or imprisonment to...
That was funny. Did y'all catch that? Wow. That's why I like watching him. Because he's going to give you truth. Even in the midst of the bullshit. Did you just catch that? The bat joke. Let me know if y'all know what he's talking about with that. I know some of y'all caught that.
Find the lost city in the Grand Canyon, but anyone who goes looking should expect a response. When Jerry and Kathy's team tried to explore the area, suddenly an unmarked plane appeared. Clearly they were being watched. Despite this part of the Grand Canyon being a no-fly zone, and the fact that no aircraft is allowed to fly below the rim, a plane appeared. Jerry Wills is convinced this was a warning. his team was unable to continue their expedition. Exploring the cave from above is almost impossible. But what about exploring it from below, as G.E. Kincaid did? Another group of explorers tried this. As they approached the location, a black helicopter showed up. Not a tourist helicopter, not even a black civilian helicopter, an Apache combat helicopter. When this team explored the area above, looking for the ventilation shafts Kincaid wrote about, and possibly a way down, they found cement blocks in the middle of nowhere. Some of these blocks are platforms near the edge of the rim with hardware and anchors that would be used to assist mountaineers. When asked about this, the authorities say these are reinforcing structures to prevent rockfalls. Also in this forbidden zone, rock formations have unusual names. There's Isis Temple, Tower of Set, Horus, the Cheops Pyramid, and Ra. There's also the Manu Temple, the Buddha Temple, the Krishna Temple, and the Shiva Temple, and many more names that refer to ancient Egyptian and Hindu cultures, cultures that specifically have myths about a god helping civilization after the Great Flood. The official word is, the fact that these names exist within the Grand Canyon's no-go zone is a coincidence. But I don't really believe in those. Do you? David Hatcher Childress is a French author who's published 200 books. He often covers ancient mysteries. He believes the United States government is actively suppressing archaeological discoveries. He mentions that while the film Raiders of the Lost Ark is fiction, the final scene showing the warehouse is close to reality. That the Smithsonian, an independent federal agency, is hiding some of the most important discoveries made in the Americas. He says the cover-up began in 1881.
Facts, B.
With famous geologist John Wesley Powell. Powell appointed Cyrus Thomas the director of the Eastern Mound Division of the Smithsonian Institution's Bureau of Ethnology. When Thomas came to the Smithsonian, he believed there was a race of mound builders that were distinct from and arrived before the American Indians. This school of thought is called diffusionism, which says throughout history, there's been a widespread dispersion of culture and civilization, even across great distances. The Smithsonian took the opposite approach. It promoted isolationism, which says most civilizations are isolated from each other and have little contact, especially when separated by large bodies of water. It was held.
Now, mind you, if you paying attention, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. Now, they said we're supposed to be separated, but yet when we look at things that are very similar all over the world. For example, the pyramids. So we don't supposed to have no way to mimic what Egypt is doing, or Africa. I mean, I said, okay, you know what I mean. Asia, people in Canada don't supposed to be able to mimic what we doing. But now we know we have the media. But I'm saying before then, there was no media. So how was these people mimicking each other? That's a question that, you know, when we say people shouldn't be able to do what another civilization is doing, but yet we see the opposite of that. So where did that information go? I don't know. You know, that's why I constantly search for knowledge. Because it's very strange to me that we see similar designs all over the world of the same pyramids. We see the same textures all over the world. I think that's strange, you know? I want to know about stuff like that. I want to know how did they know what this civilization was doing and that civilization copied that civilization. Did they travel around?
That the advanced and highly populated civilizations of the Ohio and Mississippi valleys were rare, and that they didn't have contact with other advanced cultures like the Aztecs, the Toltecs, or the Maya. But the Mississippi River runs from Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. To say these cultures were isolated is like saying that people in the Black Sea had no contact with people in the Mediterranean. That's ridiculous. When ancient mounds of the American Midwest are examined, they show the existence of a complex culture, cities larger than those in Europe at the time. They also show burials of extremely tall people, sometimes 7 or 8 feet tall. When the Spiro mounds were excavated in the 1930s, 7 and 8 foot tall skeletons were found. They said, "We have not been able to find the specimens in our collections, though records show that they were received."
Oh, how do you lose giant stone coffins?
Now, did they lose the coffin the same way they say they lost the technology to go back to the moon? They always losing something. Somehow evidence get destroyed. I just don't understand. How do you always losing important things that have gave us our history? They always losing something that is important. It don't. You can tell a kid that. You can't tell a grown. So I see they keep hitting me right now. Okay.
It weighed several tons? I don't know.
And never underestimate the incompetence of the federal government.
8 years later, the Smithsonian said they found the coffins, but they were stored in a warehouse that was contaminated by asbestos, so nobody could go in there to see them. During World War II, a crew was building an airship in Alaska. They excavated a mound that had gigantic human remains, skeletons twice or 3 times the size of a normal human. This report has been confirmed by multiple sources. The Smithsonian collected the findings, and that was the last anyone heard about it. There are stories like this from Alaska all the way down to Mexico City. An amazing discovery is made, the Smithsonian steps in, the story disappears. The saying, skeletons in your closet, means you have secrets you don't want revealed. Secrets that, if discovered, would be embarrassing and possibly dangerous. In the case of the Smithsonian, skeletons in the closet could be taken literally, but the government literally has evidence that an advanced race was in North America long before the native tribes arrived, evidence they don't want revealed. Mainstream science says this is nonsense, but the Hopi and other Grand Canyon tribes do believe this. The Hopi say that when the first people emerged from the Grand Canyon, they sent a message to the Temple of the Sun asking for a blessing of peace.
Wee! Damn! He just said some real shit then. You think the people that have slaved our ancestors gonna somehow free us for our best interests?